What's going on, guys? Doing something new here. I'm starting a podcast. So, first, I'm going to let you guys know that I've done this before. This is what I did before I started streaming GT7 and doing playthroughs on my YouTube channel. This is something I've wanted to do for a very long time. I just needed the right person to do it with. And I think I have found one. We're going to introduce him right now. The two-time world heavyweight champion, Shaq R.D.
Ah,
Boom, here he is.
the crowd going crazy.
Absolutely. So go ahead and introduce yourself right quick, and then we're going to get started here.
All right, so Shaq RD, the two-time exhibition manufacturers champion for Subaru and Toyota. 2023, 2024, back to back. Something that people don't know, but it's all good. And I can
Yes.
go back to the leaderboards. It's there.
I mean, you can't. You can't take that away. It's there. It's the facts. It's on there. I think I won Corvette tonight, so I'm gonna put that right in the bio. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, so we are gonna go straight into it. Boom! Seahawks versus Patriots, Super Bowl. Um, I don't think it's a secret that I am a diehard Seahawks fan. I'm very excited for this. We haven't talked about this yet either. So I'm gonna just put you my thoughts, my prediction, who I think is gonna win. I think it's. I know I'm gonna blow your mind on this. I think the Seahawks are gonna win the Super Bowl.
Where?
Like,
No way. That's your pick. There's no way.
I know, like I think it's going to be the Seahawks. So, um, really, the big thing for me in this game is it's going to be the offensive line for the New England Patriots versus the defensive line for the Seahawks. I think that's the de facto number one matchup Seattle has a huge advantage over. Every single one of their D line has over 30 plus pressures throughout the regular season. They played a tougher schedule, higher ranked offensive lines, and you know, really, I see a narrative out there. They're saying like, oh, a lot of them might be on Drake May. Oh, he might fix the problem. No,
Okay.
no, no. Listen, listen. We saw a mismatch once before in a previous Super Bowl. All right, it was the Chiefs versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And what happened? the D line ate. All right.
Yeah, I mean, granted, I remember the Chiefs' O line was depleted. I think the four starters were out. So,
Yes. Yes. That's like the reason it was such a mismatch. Because if they have their starters, that might have been a completely different game.
hmm
But we haven't had a mismatch of O line versus D line this bad since that game, right? So that's why I think Seattle's going to win right there. I'm not going to say Sam Darnold, although I know he's going to do great. That's why I've got the Sammy D
of
jersey.
course,
You know,
Jet
uh,
Legend.
Jets, 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 Jets.
Chill, bro. Chill, chill, chill. You know we
You know,
we're protesting at the moment.
I almost made you a Jets symbol to put like
Mm,
right at the top right of your like little cam, so everybody
yeah.
knows that you you like the Jets.
Nah, yeah, you would have done that. The podcast is not happening for a fact. There's no way I cannot be attached. You already know the
Yeah,
franchise.
yeah. So what do you think? Are you picking Seahawks too?
Yeah, my pick been the Seahawks, honestly, since the playoffs started. Um, I didn't have faith in the 49ers. They cooked the Eagles, which the Eagles were a dumpster fire. So it was a little bit surprising, but that's not a contender, respectfully. Same thing with the Rams. Great offense, defense, top 15 defense. Just not enough to win at Seattle, and against the 12 man, it's just too much. to be honest. And um, and I've been saying this since the beginning. The champion is coming out of the NFC. The AFC, I have no trust in them. Uh, the Jaguars were the number two seed. No way. So, I'm sleeping on the whole AFC as a whole. And yeah, Seahawks is winning. And you know how you've seen me live making all my picks. Out of all the playoff picks, I think I was wrong twice. And we follow the same pattern. Is at least to me, is who got the best QB? In my opinion, Sam Darnold's the better QB. Yes, Devontae May. I played Drake May. Drake May probably gonna be top two in the MVP. He might win MVP. In my opinion, he should be the MVP, but it doesn't matter. He's top two this season. However, the way that Sam Darnold is playing, making the right reads, making the throws, tough, short, medium, long. The dude is on fire. He got momentum. And to be honest, for the Patriots coming from that ugly ass game at Denver, granted we know the conditions and everything, it was a huge factor, but I know for a fact there gotta be some doubts that my Ravens should be trying to correct, especially facing, in my opinion, the second best D line in the league. Four players with 30 plus pass rushes, that's insane. And I don't think Stevenson is gonna be effective enough to be able to rely on the run. So yeah, no more yapping. My picks is Seahawks.
All right, cool. You know what though? I don't think that the offense has to do much in this game to win. And I said this when we played against the Rams. When I was asked, hey, do you think that the Rams are going to beat Seattle? There's always a chance, right? That's
Of
why we
course.
say any given Sunday, always a chance. However, I've watched every game Seattle's played this year, and every game I have felt, hey, if they don't make more than two mistakes, this is an easy win. It's an easy win. It showed up in week 11, the first matchup against the Rams. They made four mistakes and lost by 2 points. Then they made three mistakes against the Rams the second time, still won the game. You know what I mean? Like they still won.
Granted, the catch with Puka, we're not gonna talk about it, but yeah, that's a win. A win is a win.
Hey, they got one, we got one. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Well,
yeah. And then you got the
however,
most important one,
we got two that game. Go
the 2 point
Seahawks.
conversion. We're not gonna talk about it, but it's so good.
Well, you know what? I think we can all agree they got that play right.
Of
So
course.
yeah, we can all
Of
agree. Unless
course.
unless you're wearing blue and yellow, or they like to say gold. It's not gold. It's yellow, bro. Unless you're wearing blue and yellow, everybody knows that call was correct. Um, all right. So moving on. Right. Since we're talking about this, it's fresh in there. All right.
Mm,
Defense wins when the offense does enough.
hey,
And
yeah.
here's the thing, specifically about this game. All right. I just said it. The D line is the big matchup. That's the big matchup in the Super Bowl. Okay. If Sam Darnold goes 12 for 17 and 180 yards and one touchdown, that might be enough, just like it was against San Fran, because
Yeah.
everything clicks, and they use that term where it's complementary football. And what does that mean? That means when the defense gets a stop, the offense goes and gets the score, right?
Hmm.
It needs to be three,
3-7.
6, it doesn't matter.
Hmm.
That's complementary football, right? And there's no team in the league that has done it better this year than Seattle. Let's go back a year prior, right? We had Kansas City on one side and we had Philadelphia. I Don't get me wrong, Philadelphia absolutely blew out opponents last year. They were
Hmm.
on fire, especially in the playoffs and the Super Bowl included.
The Rams
However,
game was close.
yes, it was. Stafford almost put like one of the greatest performances in playoff history that game. It was
They
close.
were scared. The Bears were scared.
Yeah, they were. definitely scared. However, both of those teams, I think we can agree, they played the best complementary football, right? And I hear this term getting thrown out all the time. Defense wins championship. Defense wins championships. What happened to the Texans? What
Number
happened to
one,
the Broncos? You
number
know,
two,
what happened to the Chargers?
number four.
And this is why it's not going to happen with Seattle. All right. They are number one ranked. I think they're seventh overall, like in yards, because everybody loves yards more than points. I don't know why, but
Hmm.
you know what I mean? Like, you got to
Yeah.
put the yards up there as high as possible so Dak Prescott can win an MVP, I guess. So, like,
They got a narrative.
yeah, you gotta follow the narrative. But Seattle, number one point scoring defense, number one or number three point scoring offense. All right, complementary football. What say you?
I agree. And I honestly, shout out to the Patriots defense. It's a very strong defense. I think, if I'm not mistaken, they're the sixth best defense in the league. And the offense still is a pretty respectable offense. However, we look at the this last game against the Broncos. Yeah, I already talked about the conditions. Whatever. They did enough though. And then the game before that against who did they play before that? Was it it wasn't the Chargers,
They
it
they
was
no, they played the Texans. So it went
the
Broncos,
Texans.
Texans, and then Chargers.
Yes. So with the Texans,
I was over here like, oh wait, what? Who did they play? They
crazy.
played nobody. All right, they played coaches fired.
They got a second round bye. But against the Texans, it was the same thing. The offense, granted, did enough, but I think Drake Mayo had two turnovers in the first half. They had another one in the second half. And also against the Chargers, that was also a game where the offense never really looked as dominant, as smooth, as just it's working in all cylinders as the Seahawks. Honestly, like you look at the Seahawks and look back, the numbers don't lie. It is what it is, man.
So you're telling me that Justin Herbert, the greatest quarterback in NFL history, couldn't get it done against the Patriots?
I know some people out there they like to say that, oh, he stops Summit, oh, he's better than Jalen Hurts, all this blah, 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 blah. The dude is hella negative in the playoffs. He cannot get out of the first round. And and people hyping up that, oh, he's dating whoever, like, no, like don't give a fuck about who he's dating, like what's going on, like this ESPN. Yeah, ESPN fans need to stop with this crazy ass media and BS about, oh, but what do they do like off the, we don't care about what's off the field, what are you doing on the field. And unfortunately for Mr. Herbert, the record doesn't lie, so I'm
Yes.
sleeping on him.
And this is the good example, right? Because defense wins championships when, right? So you have CJ Stroud, who a lot of people do like. What did he have? 11 turnovers, 10 turnovers in the playoffs. It was horrible. It was horrendous. Like I'm telling you, I legitimately saw the 5-year-old kid playing Madden, watching both of these QBs play their playoff games. Just mash the X button. You saw the results. Uh, it is what it is, man. You don't play complimentary. I think that's what I should say. Defense wins when you play complimentary football.
There you go.
Yes. All right, we're gonna
Stamp
move.
that one.
We're gonna move on here now. Just to let you guys know whoever gets this far in the video, I'm a noob at this, so please bear with me. All right.
Yeah, 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 yeah. We gotta take it easy with us. This is the first one. This is live, organic, so it's gonna happen. So yeah, give us a break. Everything gonna be good.
Boom. We got it. All right. Belichick snubbed in the Hall of Fame. What is your thoughts on this?
Belichick, it's just the same that I've been saying. Oh, because we've been talking, but. Unfortunately, with the NFL, these narratives matter a lot. Stuff off the field matters a lot. I've heard people mention that, oh, because he was in a bad, he ended up on a bad note with Robert Kraft, and Robert Kraft has a huge influence when it comes to the reporters and even the commissioner. I've heard also that, oh, like he would go into interviews and he would crap on on the people that do the voting for the Hall of Fame. So the thing is that this is a professional league. Everybody that's in these positions needs to be professional. I don't care what your personal opinion is. I don't care what you think about a player. I don't care if the player or coach or whoever did something. At the end of the day, your word needs to stand above your feelings and whatever, and you need to have integrity. These people need to be outed. Whoever voted to not put him in the Hall of Fame, then we need to know the names.
Kick him.
We need to see it. They gotta go. This is unacceptable. And people mentioned T.O. I agree that was horrible, but this is undisputed the best coach in history. Yeah, do that to him. Nobody's a Hall of Famer. A
Nobody.
first ballot Hall of Famer.
Nobody's first ballot.
So,
Everybody should miss now. Everybody should miss except Tom Brady. Except Tom Brady, everybody misses first ballot Hall of Fame, in my opinion. If he doesn't get first ballot Hall of Fame, then nobody should have gotten it. That's this is the biggest snub in NFL history. And I had strong feelings about Terrell Owens. T.O.,
mhm.
I literally used to look forward to watching EASPN just to see some T.O. highlights. You know what I mean? Like, I'd watch those just for T.O. and the Randy Mosses and the Larry Fitzgeralds. You know what I mean? Like,
Legends.
that's what we watch it for. I watched this man's entire run from 2000 all the way to to 2023. I watched this whole run, and
The dude got 8 Super Bowls, six as a coach, two as a OC. I sent you the picture the other day. His hands barely fit the rings,
yeah, and
bro.
and again, like somebody said to us like before, like, oh, well, it's probably his girlfriend. I don't care who his girlfriend is. I don't care.
Bro, what are we talking about, bro? Is his girlfriend on the field?
Is
Is his
his
girlfriend
girlfriend
calling
winning the
plays?
championship? You know what I mean? Like, dude, how is
Even
that a
if
reason?
you wanted to bring that fact up, this whole girlfriend thing, whatever, which I don't even pay attention to, it's happening with his stint with Duke and all this stuff. So why is his career with Duke getting tarnished or whatever affecting the legacy that he had in professional sports? I don't understand it, and this happens because you be following those narratives. Yo, you need to start watching ESPN. ESPN is bad. ESPN, even if you think that you're not letting it affect you, it does affect you, and those things transfer, and you end up repeating these things. Come on now. Start watching ESPN, start watching us. I promise you, you're gonna learn more watching the two-time podcast than watching this goofy ass EA ESPN analyst yapping and screaming and trying to make memes and all this, trying to go viral. Come on, man.
Uh,
We grown. Let's just talk football. Let's talk ball.
no, think about it. Think about it. You see, if you've never watched football before, ever, right? Never in your life have you watched football. Your entire life you've watched F1, golf. You watched rugby. You're over there in the EU.
Footy.
And you're just like, you know what? They keep putting football games over here, and I want to learn about it. And you go on Google right now and type who's the best coach in NFL history. All right, Bill Belichick.
It clears though, like it's not even close. It's not like, for example, a few years ago when people would, they would compare, oh, Tom Brady got the rings, but Aaron Rodgers got the talent. Aaron Rodgers got the MVPs. Aaron Rodgers is carrying these teams. There was an argument a few years ago, not anymore, but the gap between coaches is not close. Right? Respectfully to all the legends, respect all of them, but is the thing. It's not close.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not, and I don't even like the argument. Oh well, he had Brady, blah 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 blah.
Hmm.
It's like he had
Brady had
Brady,
him.
he had Belichick, but they went through three rebuilds together, three of them, and like the worst that happened to him was the year that he got hurt and they had Castle. You know what I mean? Three rebuilds, 10 Super Bowl appearances. 10. 10. All right. Now we could go to LeBron and be like, "Oh, he's the greatest all time, first ballot Hall of Famer 10." Well, he can't be a first ballot Hall of Famer now either because he didn't even get enough rings.
Let's stay
Right?
consistent. Let's be
Got it.
consistent.
You got to stand on it now. Like you're gonna go and snub one of the greatest figures in sports. Like imagine like Lewis Hamilton retires, right, and he doesn't make the Hall of Fame.
Oh,
Imagine.
actually, Adrian Newey, because Hamilton he's a driver. Let's say he's a player.
Mhm.
Newey is a team principal, building the cars in the whole management side. And then when he's when he's a candidate to be in the Hall of Fame, they're like, oh, Adrian Newey didn't like to give interviews, so I'm mad, and because of that, I'm gonna not vote him.
It's
Insanity,
it's horrible. It's horrible.
absolute insanity.
I'm as far as going to say this is the big snub in sports history, not even just
Oi,
NFL. This is the biggest snub in sports history because I really can't think of another name besides Terrell Owens, honestly, besides T.O. that didn't make the Hall of Fame that was such a legend in a sport.
I will say though, you know, fun with baseball. Baseball's my sport, my first sport.
Yes.
Barry Bonds is the GOAT. 7 MVPs, like 9 Gold Gloves, home run king, insanity. The numbers are insane. That's another one. In baseball, is Barry Bonds. Huge gap. Like it's not close. Huge gap, and then you can argue for everybody else. And unfortunately, Barry Bonds was not a first ballot. He wasn't a second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, none. And his eligibility is done. So he's not in because of things that we're not going to talk about because this is football. But that will be a good, it will be nice to compare on another day because it's
That
pretty bad.
I
But
think
yeah.
we will because you're over here just educated. That's why I grabbed the phone. I'm over here putting notes in. Barry Bonds has an argument. Okay, I got it. This is
Bro,
why you're here. This is because you're the freaking goat.
it's insane, brother. Like you look at it, it's wild.
Yeah. All right. So while we're on the Patriots and we're like fresh on the Patriots, we're just gonna
Mhm.
go right to the Patriots have the easiest path ever to the Super Bowl ever. See if I can
Hey,
get this right. I apologize, guys.
no lie. I did see something and we'll bring it up next. So yeah, I know some people probably gonna be, oh, this guy just yapping and they're not even showing facts or nothing. Next podcast, I'll show you this fact. But I just saw literally the statistics, and the Patriots had the third easiest schedule in NFL history. We're going back to the merger, AFL, NFL, everything. Third easiest in history. That's a fact. I'm not saying they don't deserve it. That's just the facts.
Hold on, let me make it a little bigger so I can read that. Easiest schedules by
Oh, there you go.
DVOA right here. Boom, Patriots number 3. Number 3. And I'm sorry that took me so long. I was over here fumbling like crazy. I'm like,
Uh,
yeah, you
we do
carried
one
it
take,
though. Yep,
one take only.
yep. It's you know what? The last team that had a schedule similar to this one was the 1999 uh, Rams. All right, and they won the Super Bowl. Okay, do you think that? Do you think that's somewhat of a correlation of what could happen this year? Right? Like, do you think like, oh, the Rams also had it easier? Like, if you look at the 1999 Rams, the greatest show on
On
turf.
turf.
The greatest show on turf, right? It's got a nickname. And usually, when it has
Hmm.
a nickname, it's a legend. Would you say that the Patriots have some type of similarity to that team?
To be honest, come on, man. What are we talking about? Come on now. Next
Next,
question.
he's like, no way, no way. So that, but that's like the key, right? You know, you make these great runs. I'll say this: it is a favored for Seattle, and if Patriots do win, I think it's just another Super Bowl win for them. You know, I don't think it's that crazy of a legacy, and I say that because I just want to bring up this next picture. You know, we have that narrative of them having the easiest path. That's regular season, however. So
Of course.
would you say again? Hear me. I'm gonna fumble everything trying to get to this. Boom. There we go. Boom. We're here. So would you say that
Uy,
this run would be just as legendary?
uy. We're talking facts. I want somebody to argue with the facts. The last fact was a fact. This is another fact too. So now what are we thinking?
So, but here's my issue, right?
Mhm.
I look at this picture and I see Jared Stidham. I see I see five turnovers, gift wrap
Yeah.
footballs. I see five gift wrap footballs, and then I see the greatest quarterback in NFL history. You know what I mean?
Hey, shout out to the Broncos. I got a couple Broncos fans. They're my guys, but Stidham, come on, man.
Going into the game though, like there was some narrative saying, "Oh, Stidham's really good. Like he's gonna play really well. He's gonna get the win for the Broncos." I saw this one thing about them saying
What?
Sean Payton. Sean Payton. I guess like don't quote me here if you find it somewhere. But
Of
Sean
course.
Payton was just like he's got two quarterbacks. He's got two quarterbacks in the locker room, and one of them Stidham.
Oi. No lie, I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. I don't know what was going on with the practices. But Zach Wilson is a Bronco, and I think Zach Wilson had way more starts than Stidham. At least he started for the Jets 2 full seasons. Um, so I don't know. I'm not the coach. I'm not saying I know better, but and this is not a Jet thing. FTJ. It's not about that, but just because of reps, I think I would have gone with Zach Wilson. Regardless, I don't think that would have changed the outcome. Regardless, but it is what it is, man.
You,
And
you know,
and let's go back. My fault, I interrupted you. Let's go. If we go back, a couple minutes, we started this. What did we say? Defense wins when, and look at that. Extremely amazing defenses, but unfortunately, this the most important position on the field is it was the weakest. You're strong as your weakest link, and the link was the weakest where it needed to be the strongest. So it
yeah.
is what it is.
I I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes when things are ranked very high, right? There's like asterisks behind it, and
Hmm.
this goes back to why I brought up the greatest show on turf, right? If the Patriots beat them in 2001, right? That's a big deal, right? It is a big deal that they beat them. That's one of the best teams ever, okay? And the Patriots didn't have a run like this. There was really no asterisks outside of the tuck rule, right? So like besides that, besides the tuck rule, okay?
That's gonna be another podcast.
There's gonna be
That's football
another
history.
football history. It's just this is what fans do, right? This is what fans do. Every fan, and I'm gonna get hate for this, and that's okay, but this is the truest thing ever.
Go ahead,
Every
bro.
fan wants their team to be the next greatest team in NFL history. That's not just about winning a Super Bowl, all right? We saw I'm sorry all Eagles fans. I'm sorry, but we saw what the Eagles last year into this year. They win their ring this year. All we heard repeat, 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 repeat. Best in the league for 10 freaking weeks, even though they could have very easily been 3-7 on 7 different plays. The first time I've ever have I watched a team win on 2 blocked field goals. I have never seen that. I've also
Yes.
I've never seen a team win the way they did against Dallas. They should have got swept by Dallas, right? But that's a great example. Philly fans, you know, they this whole season they thought they were running it back, and if you talk to any of them, they would have been like, "Oh, Jalen Hurts, he's better than Patrick Mahomes, and they're going to win a ring and do
Come
all these
on,
crazy
man.
stuff."
Who was saying that? Who was
Listen,
saying that so I can see
fans,
you?
fans, fans. I'm talking to the fans. All right, fans. Okay,
Yeah, you're surrounded by them too.
surrounded.
Stay
All right.
woke.
I love y'all. I do. I truly do. But I'm gonna tell you right now, if Seattle wins this year, okay, I'm not gonna be that guy. I'm gonna analyze it again. I'm gonna look at it. I'm gonna hope because me too. I would like my team to be the greatest team ever. I would like them to go on a historic run. However, I feel like this stuff happens all too often. They bring up these cherry pick stats. Oh, look, they beat the only team in postseason history to beat the top 3 defenses. Blah 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 blah.
It's a really cool stat without context.
It
It's really
is.
good though.
It is. It's a really cool stat, and that's what we're going to hear all off season when they lose to the Seahawks.
That's crazy though. I
Yeah.
hope that happens because next episode you're gonna have to apologize if that doesn't happen.
Oh man, listen. Maybe I got some cardboard paper back here. Maybe I'll make a giant L and just hold it up. If they lose, here it is. Here's my L.
Hey, bro, yeah, a bag with the 2 holes, brown bag.
No,
It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough to face the people after
listen,
after these claims.
listen. I'm not
Because
wearing no bag.
this how the Eagles felt. Yo, there's a couple Eagles fans. Yeah, know me and I know ya. It was unfathomable to ya that there was no chance that we're not making the Super Bowl. And the rest is history. So and birds too. There were birds, they gone. Let's see.
That maybe it's a bird thing, right? Like, let's lump the Ravens fans, the Cardinals fans in here. Let's just, hey, come on, guys, this is how we act. But no, listen, if Seattle loses, right, no bag going
Mhm.
over my head. I'm putting all of my jerseys on. All right, I got about 4 hats over
Gangsta.
there. Put all
Face
my
that
hats
shit.
on. All right, and I'm just gonna let everybody know I ain't going anywhere. I'm still gonna talk my smack next year too, baby. Go Hawks.
Yes, sir. That's how I gotta be.
Yeah. All right, moving on. This is interesting because the Patriots are uh relatively young. Seattle's relatively young. They're both in the
Yes.
Super Bowl, and the cap space is increasing by almost 30 mil. Right? Oops, wrong one. 30 mil. If I can find it, it's somewhere here. I promise you.
There's actually also a couple more teams that people are gonna be surprised that have a lot of cap space.
Mm-hmm. Share screen.
They're gonna be really surprised. I'm gonna just let the pitcher do the talking. So
Yeah, as soon as I get there.
yeah, because I've been
Boom.
talking a lot. So there we go.
Let's see if I can go back. All right, here we go. This part's got to get better. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah. Can you make it big?
Yeah. Let's pop it up
There we
maximum.
go.
All
Yes.
right. So again, like what I was saying, Seattle and New England both of them in the Super Bowl. And, especially Seattle. Seattle has a chance to be in like the running for any big name free agents going on the market this year. Like 75 mil in the Super Bowl. That means they're going to get better. It's a
Hmm.
beautiful thing. Beautiful thing. New England, it also means they're going to get better, however much less, right? Tennessee at number one, Las Vegas. Remember when we were talking about the coaching situation, and I said I think Las Vegas might be the best situation. It looks like a lot of dough over there to spend.
Yeah, well, I mean, the the Raiders. It doesn't matter if they have cap space or not.
Wait, do you
Like
mean they're gonna sign like some crazy head coach that everybody thinks is really good, like better than Belichick good for 10 years and then fire him after 3 seasons?
I mean, they just had a Super Bowl winning coach and he's gone after year one. So
Uh, I don't
it's
know. I feel like Las Vegas is always going to be
yeah,
at the top
yeah.
of cap space because, some of these teams that I see, I'm not going to name a certain one, but some of these teams are like Catalyst.
Like that green team, that number fourth team, that's another one. Raiders, Jets, Browns. Which
they're
the
like
Browns are amazing.
they're like the catalyst, right? They get the good players and they're just like, all right, things aren't working because our quarterback sucks, our coach sucks, our offensive coordinator sucks. We don't have a wide receiver one. Let's just trade all of our good players.
Yeah, firing coaches after 1 year, switching GMs every 3 years. Oh, like what are we doing? Well, why would you care when at the end of the season the revenue gets shared evenly throughout all teams? So
What's interesting to me about this, right, is Kansas City all the way at the tail end. And if I'm not mistaken, when Patrick Mahomes signed his giant, huge, massive, lucrative,
pause. Hey yo, what the hell, bro?
lucrative contract of
They-
$500 million, it was supposed to be team friendly, right? And it's astounding to me that it's not looking so team friendly for them. And it kind of worries me that they're, think about that team. They're struggling in offense. I besides Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelsey, how many stars do they have left on the offensive
yeah,
side of the ball?
I mean, yeah, I rate. Oh my God, how am I forgetting his name right now? Rashid Rice, in my opinion, Rice is a monster. I want to see him a full season so he can actually show what he can. But I think that dude could be a top 10 receiver, especially with Mahomes throwing him the ball. Like dude can have some really, really strong seasons. But yeah, other than that, Xavier Worthy, really nice player, very fast. But to me, he's just a sweep receiver, jet sweep, wide receiver screen, deep streaks. And that's kind of it. And after that, like you said, they got Hollywood Brown. You know, I'm not surprised if Marquise Brown is out of the league in a couple years. So they've been rotating legends. They had DeAndre Hopkins a couple of years ago. That didn't work. So they've been trying, but they need to just dive into 100%. And but unfortunately, like you mentioned, bottom of cap space, I don't know if they have the capabilities to make it happen.
Yeah, I feel like they gotta kind of do what Rams have been doing the past few years because the Rams are also very high and healthy, and they have a lot of stars.
Hmm.
They have a lot of stars in quite a few places, and you know they aren't really in jeopardy of losing much. Kansas City, on the other hand, George Pickens. You look at Dallas. I don't think George Pickens plays another year. I heard they're going to franchise tag him or whatever, but I want to
Yeah,
look. I want to look at that and confirm it because things are going to start happening after Super Bowl all the way up to April. All kinds of fun stuff, right? So I don't know. If I'm Kansas City, I'm looking at Dallas and being like, well, we're not going to be a player for that. We're not going to be a person for that player. You know, they're not. We're not going to be able to get a George Pickens, which would bolster our offense tremendously.
hell no. They might not even be able to get some of the running backs available this year, and there's a few. Literally, and in retrospective, of course, it was the right decision. But literally at the end of the trade deadline, there were a lot of rumors about the Jets trading Brees Hall, and one of the suitors were the Chiefs, which would definitely help Mahomes a lot. A three down back that can also catch and make plays after the catch. And the reason why they were not able to make the trade was because the Jets were asking for a third round pick, and the Chiefs would not go below a fourth round, which was kind of mind boggling to me because you got Mahomes in his prime. Every year counts. You gotta make it happen. He's talented enough to make it happen with a not ideal roster. And if you could just give him the extra help that he needed, maybe things would have been different. But you don't get Brees Hall, but then again, Mahomes ends up being out for the year. Probably gonna be out until at least week 10, and that's been very optimistic.
I
So
I
yeah.
think that it would help Kansas City a lot for him just to recuperate the whole year, take the whole year off, you know,
Hmm.
get your mind right, get your body right. You know, it would help the Chiefs because you're going to, make your draft capital better. I honestly think they should move off some of their veteran stars now and create that draft capital for the next 2 years. Attack the rebuild quick and be back to where they belong because I'm very against the only thing you need is a quarterback. I'm seeing it with Josh Allen all the time. And I think Patrick Mahomes is one of the best players in the league. I don't think anybody could, deny that, even if he had a fall off the last 2 years and what they're swinging the narrative and blah, 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 blah. They don't
Right.
have anybody, man. He's carrying it, so like I don't want to see a person of that or a player of that caliber have his career tank so quickly. You know what I mean? But that
Hmm.
I'm just a couch coach. You know what I mean? I sit on the couch eating my chips, watching the games. I'm not no owner, so that's just me. Saying what I think should be done. However,
I agree.
I'm really liking Seattle's situation and all this. Kenneth Walker. I it's weird because I'm super high on K9. I've been super high on K9 the entire
That's your
time.
guy.
Zero
Yeah,
fumbles in his career, by the way. Zero.
gangster. Shout out to him.
Yes. Um, they need to re-sign him, right? We don't let him go, right?
Especially with my boy, I rock with Charbonnet. Charbonnet. That's my guy I like to say. I like him, but yeah, I need to make it happen. Next year, he's not there, so and literally, out of come on. We seen what he's doing in the playoffs. Pay the man. Cap is increasing, pay him.
Yeah. I mean, they might get him pretty cheap too. You know what I mean? Like, because they don't utilize him enough. However, his stats are inflated because of that. So I think they could get him on a very team friendly deal. And considering like how tight knit the team is, you know, I really I could see that just benefiting the team signing him over like say a Brees Hall, who I do think is very talented. I could see this being a great move. I don't want to
Yeah.
see that. I don't want to see any pieces on Seattle's offense go away, especially Clint Kubiak. Please, like, don't look at Las Vegas and think I got $81 million to spend, baby. Let's go.
Like, yeah, yeah, need to get Kenneth Walker back. Like there, if the difference is 1 million, 1.5, 2.5, even 3, if that's what we arguing about, just pay the man. Like, start, don't be cheap. Like the decisions like that is how sometimes some teams just end up falling off a cliff completely after being so dominant and having their moments. So make
Yeah,
the right thing, Seattle.
do the right thing is right. Do the right thing. All right. There's one more thing I wanted to talk. So this is why I said we're gonna get better at this. I promise. But I
Right.
wanted to show
One
this.
last thing before we move on, though. One last thing. Do the right thing. Like I said, don't play with the fans. I know a lot of fans that have a lot of K9 jerseys. Don't make these people have to throw the jerseys away because he's gone now. And now you're gonna try to replace him with Brees Hall because maybe analytics are telling you that he can do everything that Kenneth Walker does, and you can save a couple million. Come on, man. Respect the fans. Respect the 12 men.
Yep. 12s. I'm gonna buy like, dude. My goal is to buy Mini Mullet a K9 jersey. That's the one that's the player he seems to root for the most. So I don't want to. I don't want to be like, sorry, Johnny. He's playing for New England right now.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. So again, I want to show this clip, which brings me to hope that our team is going to do the right things on signing players and the gel of the team.
I got to give a shout out to the rookie, Gray Zabel, actually.
This is great.
Yes, sir. We need some facts. I mean, he's a smart kid, and he said to me at one point that, he can tell I was getting the center slide into me a lot. Taking that inside move on that 3-check slide to you. And he's like, hey, why are you taking that inside move when the slide is coming to you? You should just try to burn the B gap. Okay. Yes, sir. Appreciate that, brother. So that whole drive, I was just taking off, trying to burn the B gap, and it was. Snap the Curtis. He gets it. He goes down. Yeah, I went up to him and thanked him for sure. Was that off that move? Yeah. Do you see how easy that is? That was wide open. Appreciate you, dog.
Hey, let's
Shout
go.
out to the big shout out to the big cat, former Jet. Shout out to him. I'm glad he's doing what he's doing. Legend.
Yeah, I think it's really cool to see the offense and the defense working together like that. And it just makes me believe that a lot of these guys are going to be like, yo, let's make it team friendly. Let's try for another run. Because it's impossible to do back to back runs, just to get to, deep in the playoffs without people, taking team friendly deals. That's what Tom Brady did for years. You know what I mean? All his
Yeah.
contracts are team friendly. That's what I want to see. That right there is what I want to see. People being together and going after the common goal. And K9 being signed, to a team friendly deal seems very, very possible.
And literally, like like focusing on the clip, just think about it. How many vets in the league are willing to be open-minded like that? Are willing to accept constructive criticism from a rookie. I've never really seen it. If anything, all we see is just rookies getting hazed, rookies having to pay a stupid ass dinner bill and making a rookie pay like $20,000 when they're getting paid. Hey, like dumb stuff that don't translate to wins. However, look at what happens. Instant impact. We're trying to win here. Forget about seniority. Forget about all these rite of passages or whatever. We don't care about that. Let's win, and that's what the Seahawks are doing. And look at it. Even not counting that the offense is very strong, the defense is very strong. Even the special teams are an issue. This dude, Rashid Shaheed, he taking it to the house. If you sleep, you blinking, this dude already went 90 yards.
Gone.
So, and on top of that, on the sideline, they also handling business. So, yeah, shout out to the Seahawks. It's a great season, man.
It is. I'm definitely happy. Um, However, I think I'm out of talking points, and I just wanna reiterate. Do you have anything more you want to bring up?
I do want to say for the football experts, for the analysts that will be pulling up, because I know y'all will. I'm not here trying to claim that I'm a football genius. I don't have a crazy football background. I started watching football in '09, and I'm kind of a new fan. I love the game. I love everything about it, and I'm invested into it. And I'm just going by my expertise is using my brain and using my eyes and educating myself about the game. And this is what we do. I'm I only missed two. I only missed two games in the playoffs. So whatever I know, whatever process I use to determine certain things, my opinions, whatever, is showing. So now y'all seeing it live. My pick is Seahawks, and then we'll talk about this next week.
Okay, that's great. And I just want to say I miss doing this. I really do. And uh this is one of my favorite things that I've done, in my past is making a little podcast talking about sports because me myself, I am no expert by any anything. Like I just watch the games and I do the same thing. When my eyes tell me, however, I do have a little bit of fun and I'm just like, and I will do some crazy hot takes, like I made years ago saying that Sam Darnold might be the best quarterback out of that draft. Look, look at which quarterback made it to the Super Bowl first there.
Stay
you know,
woke.
that was probably, that was a huge hot take at the time, and his career was going crazy, and I was over there admitting my wrongness. However, I guess I kind of conjured him to come over, right? Either way, I've got some big plans for this, and as long as we do this, I hope you guys enjoy what we're doing here. You know, talk the smack. You don't agree with something, please let me know. You do agree, let me know too. Put those comments in. I want to hear them. And give us some feedback. We are definitely gonna improve this, get better as we go. And I mean, I had a blast doing it. So that's my closing.
Feeling it. Feeling is mutual, my friend.
Let's go. All right, Mullet is out.